time I go out there is nice. So we're not competing with cars. So somebody, let's wait for her. Yeah, but that's the biggest thing. Just get us out of the busy areas, busy roads. So that should be good. So it should be a nice ride. Beautiful weather, man. This is just, I hated being sick. I'm like, this is the time of year to ride. It should be about 70 by the time we get back, but yeah, it's nice and dry because the air is still blowing in. Okay, guys, let's head out. Let's do this.
On this ride, I left Northampton, rode into the woodlands, picked up the group at the Alden Village Center. We headed out on Fishcreek Boulevard, took Honea-Egypt Community Road, went through the neighborhood, all of that's on film. We went out to Keenan-Cutoff, 149 to Springbranch Road, filmed all the way through Tri-Lakes into Dobbins. We stopped at 105 in Mount Moriah and then continued off camera into Dacus, Johnson Road, into the forest on Bethel, up to 149, came down 149, took Hidden Forest Road, Mount Pleasant Road, back on 1097 into Montgomery, Texas. Then we kind of diverged from the group and dropped the pace a bit, and Paul and I rode back in. Just kind of got a chance to get caught up. We hadn't hooked up in a bit with everything going on with both of us, and so it was a very, very pleasant day for a bike ride. Mild temperatures, fairly sunny skies, and I think you will love the clips we put together for you. We're north of the FM 1488, cutting through the neighborhoods, getting to the open road, Fishcreek thoroughfare, in about 1.5 kilometers. We should be reaching there. I just turned on the camera. Paul is up front in the group. After a few kilometers, I will give him the camera. Once we get, I believe when we get into the Grand Lake Estates is when I get a chance to give him the camera. We got a good turnout. It's great to be back out riding with the group. Good to stretch the legs again. 17 Celsius. We are experiencing a fabulous fall morning here. The sun is just eking out. We decided as a group to change our start time by 30 minutes. We're going to be starting at 7:30 Central Time. Because right at 7 is when, if you saw the intro, it was pretty much 7 o'clock and it was still a little dark. The sun was just coming out. This will give the riders that ride in, like myself and Laura, and then some light when we're on the way to meet the group. So 7:30 will be the official start time. We had moved it to 7 when the heat was baking Southeast Texas. This coming summer. The Fishcreek thoroughfare. I'm going to be turning left, so everybody immediately moves over into the left turn lane. We're turning onto Honea-Egypt Community Road. Sunrise is right around 7.
Okay, we got the green.
Yeah, it was yellow, but the flashing yellow arrow. We got the green. We turn off the Honea-Egypt Road. Getting out of town early in the morning. We don't have to deal with too many automobiles. I believe that's Paul drifting to the back. The white bike there on the left. This is Max in front of me here. I never got the name of the guy on the right in the black. I'm riding on the edge here to avoid the little ripples there. I'm gonna ride up to Max's wheel. The pace has picked up. Been about 25 miles an hour. This group has the dynamics of a road race where you get a lot of accelerations, changes in speed. You know, it's not steady, and it's not a no drop ride. So I put the map out. If people fall off the pace for whatever reason, they can meet us at the stops. We want everybody to have their fun. Road goes up slightly here, it says 2%. But with this group, we're averaging close to maybe 19, 20 miles an hour in the areas that we're riding, the lumpy areas. So most of the time we're riding between 23 to 25 miles an hour. And it's regardless of what the wind's doing. Going into the wind, it's not uncommon for us to be riding around 21 to 23. Depending on the severity of the wind. But most of the rides, that's what I've noticed. And we're climbing between 17 and 20 miles an hour. 3 to 5% climbs. The steeper climbs, of course, the pace drops, but the effort's still there. We're riding into the wind. This front is still blowing in. That brought the cool weather to our area. What you're hearing is the wind has been dubbed on the video, but we're riding directly into it. It's coming from the north. I think it's northeastern.
Watch the deer!
There's a lot of deer. So we spread out. The weather brings them out, of course. They love the cool weather. And they're very skittish. So you want to give the deer plenty of room. You want to be prepared to stop when you see a lot of deer, because they always run in groups. They freak out. You know. They do a lot of last minute crossing. So it's one of these days where I would call it a mild day. So in Fahrenheit, it's like from 60 to maybe 75. So from about 17, 18 Celsius to about 20, 21 Celsius. So you don't need the heavy stuff for very cold weather. You need moderate stuff. You know, you can wear a long sleeve jersey. I'm wearing a long sleeve jersey that does not have fleece lining. It's an Aero jersey, which was perfect for this day. So that's the challenge in the fall and also in the spring. The shoulder seasons is hard to gauge, but you know, you learn from experience. We got some videos on the channel that talk about what to wear based on what the weather's doing, because you don't want to overheat. You don't want to dress too warm to where when you start riding, you start to boil. Then you have to shed. I have a light sleeveless base layer on and an Aero jersey. That's it. And a cycling cap. So this is our sustainable pace in this group. The makeup of this group, 36, 37 kilometers an hour is like our steady pace. And then from there, a yo-yos. I drift a little to Max's right to avoid braking. I let the wind and friction slow me down. The camera makes it appear closer than I am, but I'm within about maybe 4 to 5 inches off of his wheel when I was on that side. And I had room to where I was closer to the white line. And then as the pace line picked back up, I drifted back behind him. There's not a perfect draft here. You got a bit of it because the winds kind of seem to be swirling around this early morning. That's Doug's shot in front of Max. Max is in the red jersey. So Mike says car up, but he needs to come over. Yeah, he's moving over. I don't like to be anywhere near an approaching vehicle. They're trying to avoid the little ripples where they scrape that curb. I just stay way to the right. I give the cars a lot of buffer. It's Michael Bradbury pulling off. He's drifting in the back. I'm not sure if he was pulling or not. We're not as tight as I'd like, but I think people are still trying to settle in. Doug and Mike are talking about something. Once I get to the business of riding in a group, I don't like to do a lot of talking. If we're talking, that means the pace is not high. When the pace is up, I like to concentrate on reading the road, watching the wheels I'm following, and so forth and so on. Talking is best left to the warm up and the cool down.
Go ahead, Mike.
I told Mike to go ahead and get on Doug's wheel. I'm not sure. I think we were doing kind of too abreast, and I think the pace is picking up and people are looking for shelter now. That's what you see happening. So she's asking one more, how many more riders behind? Well, just look down. And you will see me do it later. I will point it out when we go up Springbranch Hill. It's a hard effort. I pull off the front, and you will see me just suddenly look down to look for that gap in the wheels. You don't need to look left or whatever necessarily. If you look down, you will see the wheels coming up. I look down and between my armpit and the road, and I can see the wheels. And you'll see me do that. So you don't need to ask whether you're the last or the person passing is the last rider and all of that. Just look. All this talking on the rides is not necessary. I like to concentrate on what I'm doing. This road is slightly, it's like maybe 1% grade, mostly is going up. The grade says 0, but it's not flat. It's like a false flat. I'm riding on the edge here to avoid the little ripples. We're going to be turning soon. We're going to be turning into the neighborhood, the Grand Lake Estates. I took this route because of the elevation. We actually ended up climbing almost 3,000 feet. To do that in, I guess, almost 80 miles in our area.
Get off this road.
That's pretty good. Yeah, so let's get off this road. There's a lot of cars coming. And I think Shepusa ends up entering the code. I'm putting on my glasses. I'm getting my glasses from behind my helmet. I have it on the back of my head early in the morning because I didn't need it. I'm putting it on.
How you doing, my brother?
Paul and I have been busy with stuff, so we hadn't chatted like we usually do. So we got a chance to catch up on the way back.
Can't leave home without it. Bring home for the left and right leg. What's next?
I don't know what she's talking about.
I'm not sure what she's talking about.
Riders that, just get on the wheel and keep your eye on that wheel in front of you. All that turning around stuff, I don't do that. If I'm following the wheels, I'm going to be watching that wheel. I'm going to have my vision towards the front generally. You know what I mean? If I'm taking my eye off that wheel, then I've got a lot of gap between myself and the wheel in front of me. There's nothing back there I need to see. If I need to see something back there, I'm going to go off to the side, look back, or drift back, or whatever. But all that, you're following the wheels, pay attention to what's happening because things can change quickly. These are the bumps that we avoid. You see the little white, there are little reflectors that they put on there. You don't want to roll over that with your bike wheel. They're uncomfortable and they can cause you to fall. It's like rolling over a big marble, so to speak. You will see me, I just wave. This is where I gave Paul the camera. I told him we're live and I handed him the camera. You'll see me wave at it. I don't say, oh, bump and all that foolishness. It's not necessary. I just point. We're riding two abreast again. The pace has settled down a bit. Whenever you see the group spread out like this, it's not on the rhythm. It's the same thing in a large peloton. When they're going really hard, there's one line because everybody's trying to conserve. The ride here was settled down. I'm actually drinking for later because I'm not thirsty. You want to keep fluids in, especially when it's cool. I make myself drink. It's good for your body to kind of keep your blood volume up and, avoid having all that lactate. You want your urine to be clear. And not pickled with lactic acid. You generate lactate every time you exercise, but in different levels, different volumes. See my profile versus the rider on the right, Tanya, and even Max. Everybody sits differently, but I think a lot of riders sit too high. You guys have seen Mo when he gets on that bike, he rolls himself over, and when he's working, there's no reason for you to be sitting up high. It's not more comfortable. You need to lower yourself, just like you would lower yourself when you're picking up something heavy. You bend your knees, same thing. So a lot of riders, they don't fit themselves well.
I love coming this way.
I told Paul that I did this route during the week. I came out here on Thursday.
It felt like a holiday.
Yeah.
There weren't many cars and it was really odd.
I love coming north when I have time because where we live, it's not too crowded, but stop signs, your neighbors. I have more issues with my neighbors because they do dumb things. They'll come around you knowing that they're turning right. I get that a lot, especially on the rides where I'm staying close to home just because I got 45 minutes to spin or something, testing something. You have a lot of other road users making poor decisions. They do the same thing when you're in your car. You'll be cruising, they'll come and pass you knowing that they're going to turn. I think that's rude. If you know you have to turn, why are you getting in front of someone? Stay behind the person and make your turn. Don't make that other road user have to slow down because you're turning. What's the point of passing someone shortly before you turn? That happens a lot, not just when I'm on the bike. And they create a lot of, how do I say, animus, because some of the other drivers get pissed off. You know, you're getting in front of me knowing you're going to turn. Get your butt behind me and turn. Don't interrupt my, my progress, that kind of stuff. Get that a lot. I hate that. So I mostly take the road when it looks like they're going to do something dumb. I position myself and make it clear that you need to wait. You have to do that when you ride in urban areas. You need to take the road. Sometimes you have to be where Max is if you're making a left turn. Not sometimes, especially that. You have to take the position so they know what you're doing. Because if you leave it to them, they will make unwise decisions. Just put it that way. You have to help them make the right decision. Within reason, you have to make sure it's safe enough for you to place yourself properly. But you do have to, if you ride in an urban area, you have to take the lane. Don't ride by the edge of the road and encourage them to encroach on you, because they will crowd you and it's unsafe. So you're riding, the busier it is, the better you need to position yourself. I hope this helps some of you, because don't be shocked. You have the right to use the road. But if somebody's being unsafe, feel free to not exercise that right. Get yourself out of the way. This whole subdivision is lumpy. It's between 1 to 3% or so. Right here, I believe we're past the golf course here. We're coming up to, there's a right turn coming up in about 1 kilometer. And then it's going to be a slight grade all the way up to the gate. So you can see us pointing at those bumps. That's the best thing to do, because some riders may not be familiar with it. Even if they are, at least you let them know where it is coming up, where it is. Because when you're in the group, other riders are blocking the road in a way than when you ride solo. So we're going to be turning right. You'll see me lift that inside pedal right there before I turn. You don't want to hit your pedal. Depending on how much you're leaning the bike, I always lift the inside pedal. That's just a good habit to develop. Not sure why he's drifting back, but he is. Everybody's got their reasons. I just stay on the wheel that I'm following. We're doing 2 abreast again, so I'm going to roll past John and get up to, I believe that's Michael in front of me. Every time I go over those bumps, it may look like I'm not getting up, but what I'm doing is I'm actually transferring my weight onto the pedals. You can do that without standing necessarily. You need to practice that. Transfer your weight, get it off the saddle onto your feet. This is the road called Linda's Place on the right that we just went by. Then this goes up, I think it's about 3%. Might be 3.5. It says 4%, okay. Everybody's cadence is different. If you look at my cadence versus the rider on my left, in front, that lady, I think it's Tommy. Everybody rides at a different rhythm. You need to find what works for you without making your legs get too tight. You learn that by training. When you ride, you learn to find the rhythm that works for you. You don't want to discover something new in the group necessarily. That's my gel sticking out of my pocket on the left there. What happened over there is somebody pulled off, and that was Roy that pulled off, and then the rider behind him pulled off with him. I guess he didn't realize that Roy was pulling off the front, because they were doing two abreast, and Doug had peeled off on the left. Roy was getting out of that wind, so it slowed us down to where it broke up the rhythm of the group. That's what you saw back there. When you're following the rider and they pull off to the right, just go on through. Even if you're not going to sit there, you'll see me do the same thing. Just go through, and once you go through, then you can pull off. Because if you pull off with the rider, then the person behind you is not sure whether the line is continuing or whether they need to go through. So one of you have to let them know. There's a truck parked on the right, and I think there was another vehicle trying to come around. I don't know. No, I don't see anything. Oh yeah, this car, I guess. But I'm not sure what all that was about. We are on our side of the road. I thought it was up here. Every time there's a lot of yelling in the group, I'm looking to see what the problem is. I basically just increased my cadence. You see the watts go up? You generate watts more efficiently by using the proper cadence. A very low cadence produces torque, not high watts. You want high watts? You got to spin that gear like a race engine or Ferrari. RPMs. That's what gives you watts. Instant power without tearing up your legs. So I took a couple of weeks away from the group to make sure I was fully recovered from my stomach ailment and have my strength back, so I didn't have any problems riding with the group. You don't want to come back after illness too early, because you can dig a hole for yourself. The gate is closed, there's no cars, and Laura's gonna put her bike over there. She's up front. She's gonna go over that fence on the right. But you gotta be careful with our cycling shoes, are slippery. So she slips a little bit right there.
Be
And
careful.
Paul's like, oh, be careful. She's okay.
Hey, let's use Laura's bike in case someone comes.
So I'm gonna go over there, and somebody said to get Laura's bike. The gate opens on the left. We thought it would be in the way, but I went and grabbed her bike. Michael's gonna come help me with it because I'm still clipped in. So I'm using one arm to grab the bike. I want to get it from against that fence. And Michael's helping me get her bike. Then once the gate opens, so she gets over there, she's gonna look up the code on her phone, and I go ahead and just give it to her. There's a driver that comes and he just sits
and
there.
it doesn't put the code. What's up?
I think he probably was calling. Some of these guys don't have a code. They have to call somebody. The keypad. So the keypad's on the other side. So that's why Laura was climbing over to enter the code. So I gave her the code, and the gate's gonna open, and then I'm gonna just hand her her bike because we have her bike ready. We have cyclists that live in this community, and we were able to get the code, so we kind of keep it close to the vest so we can get through when we come to ride.
Sorry about that.
So whenever you ride in a group, always be aware people can pass on the left, right, wherever. So anytime your line is changing, you need to look
Bro, you're
before
dancing too much.
you change your line. Always. Just like you would if you were driving an automobile. Always look, because riders can come from any side. There's no particular side to pass in the group. If there's enough space, riders can pass on your right or left. So always look down when there's a doubt. You don't have to look back necessarily. Look down in the pace line, because it's easier, because you're not taking your eye off the front. You're just kind of glancing down. By glancing down under your armpit, you will see if there's a wheel there. That lets you know. But if it's very fast and the pace is changing quickly, then yeah, you do need to look around, because riders can appear quicker than you can spot their wheel. Nothing major. You just got to be cognizant of the fact that you need to hold your line. You need to be predictable. Whatever it is you're going to do when you're in the group, be predictable. It's the same thing when you're riding on the road. If you're predictable, the drivers are not going to honk at you. But if you're weaving all over, they'll honk as they go by to let you know, I'm coming by. We got honked at in the forest on this ride because we were all over the road. I mean, the action was hot and thick, but we were not as tight as we could have been. So the driver tapped his horn before he went by to let us know. So we're getting the pace going back up after that little hiatus at the gate. The character of all my bikes are different. The positions are fitted the same, but the angles and the materials, the wheels, the tires, everything else give a different feel when you're on them. And right now the blue bike, in my opinion, feels best as far as transferring the information from the road to my body. Then the Colnago is second, and then this bike. This bike is like, it keeps everything secret. Every effort, it goes forward, but it doesn't transmit everything compared to my steel bikes. The titanium is lively and everything, but I don't get the same kind of road feel, which is understandable. It's the same thing when I sit on a carbon bike. A different feel. That keeps it interesting. This road we're on is called the Hills Parkway. It's going to take us to Keenan-Cutoff. Keenan-Cutoff Road is the cutoff from Keenan over to Honea, to 2854. And we're going to go left, which is west. It's it says 16 Celsius. It felt a little warmer than that. Not uncomfortably warm. The air is very dry. Very pleasant morning. Soft pedaling to avoid just stopping completely. Just kind of weird. We're going. I think it's a descent. Yeah, we're gonna go down this hill. Then it's gonna kick up in the distance before we get to the intersection. At this point of the ride, I'm thinking about, okay, we've got that big climb on Springbranch Road. You always have to save your legs. It's a long ride. We're doing 80 miles. I don't know, it's probably not on camera. I think when we stopped at the store, I mentioned to someone, I don't know if it was Doug or one of the other riders, said, these guys realize we're doing 80 miles, right? Because they're riding like we're doing 50. So I used a high cadence over that last bump. We're going to be turning left on Keenan-Cutoff.
Oh man, we're going to walk the bike now.
Mike said he's going to have to watch his bike. It's the sprinkler system. Somebody, our neighborhoods, they do the same thing. They're finally turning that thing off. We don't need sprinklers. We've had enough rain. Temperature's mild. Yeah, they just wet the road. Check the sprinkler heads. The water on the road, it dirties your bike. That's all it does. Go through that stuff, sprays the
Hey, Paul,
team. So Michael said he's going to have to watch his bike. And Paul said, I know the feeling. I clean my bike after every ride. Gives me an opportunity to clean the tires and check, make sure there's nothing stuck in them. And I clean them before the next ride. Clean the chain. Every ride, just wipe it down. Doesn't take long. Minute or two, done. Keep that drivetrain clean. I just had to replace the chain on the Colorado this weekend. It was at 0.5 worn per the chain checker tool. I replaced them at 0.5. I don't have to buy any cassettes. So every 90 days I check the chain for wear. Thereabouts. It was just barely 0.5. So I got it off of there. It's time for a new chain. Shifts better anyway. New chain, new tires. I don't ride my tires till they're bald. They look like they're long in the tooth. I get rid of them. Nice shot. That's Doug. That's Darren on the right. Who's behind Doug? Clement Champoussin. John Malbrecht's behind Doug. And the Ikea Semsic team. John rides like Clement Champoussin from France. There's a few body types. We have a guy in the area of Fabian. He travels a lot, but he lives here as well. His body type is like Thibaut Pinot, the French racer. There are certain riders just look. There was another guy looked like what's his name? He's not racing anymore. Alejandro Valverde. Yeah. You see these body types. He looks just like that rider. He looks just like that rider. A few body types. There's another guy that rides with the Romeo group, the group that has weekday rides. His body type is like Alberto Contador. He reminds me of Contador. I think he's on this ride. I think he's here. I'll point him out if the camera picks him up again. He reminds me of Contador. So check your group. You will see riders that look like some famous racers, just body type. I mirrored my cycling position after riders like Jacques Anquetil, Max, all the big boys. That greyhound position look. That's just the natural position for us boys with long legs, you gotta have a shallow seat tube, maybe 72 degrees or shallower. And then you need a long top tube for your long arms. So you're not, it's just natural. The big riders, that's how they sit on the bike. It gives you that stability. And you lower that torso and slice the wing. This road is basically a conundrum. You think it's flat, but it's not. You feel it. It's got lumps galore. Keenan-Cutoff, I like it. Joaquin is sitting out there, and I couldn't figure out why he was sitting out there, but I guess he was feeling good.
Thank you, man.
Instead of just taking a pull, he's sitting right next to Roy. Roy is pulling the group, and Joaquin's sitting on the left. We don't have a lot of traffic this morning on this road. It's not busy. That's another reason I like this route. Paul, the long guy's going to pull a mole here. He's going to ride up and film everybody. Until he gets right next to you, the angle looks a little funky. Right here, the angle looks right. And you see the guy in the red Max. Until he gets next to Max, then you can see the angle looks right there. So when he's on the side, and there's Laura. Laura's on Roy's wheel, about a foot. That's how you follow. Yeah, that's a good shot. So Paul's drifting back, getting everybody in the picture. Nice shot.
Buenos dias!
That's Juan. Juan is a pilot with one of the commercial airlines.
It's the one! Yes, sir!
Juan's on the right. And he's going to tell Paul that he got a new bike. These boys working back here. It's not easy. You see the wind flapping this guy's gilet. What's his name? Juan likes to sing in the Paceline. He was singing like the 80s song today. He's singing some Spanish song right now. But he'll sing like the hits from the 80s and so forth. He's going to ask Paul if Paul got that. When I was synchronizing the film, I saw this part.
Las llantas más anchas, esta es un poco más grande. No termino tan cansado.
He said, Paul, you got that?
All of it.
So if you don't habla un poquito
I got a new
español,
bike a few weeks ago. Yeah. And it's amazing how not as whooped I get off the bike now. I was on 23s before. Yeah. Now these are 28s. And this is a larger frame. I think I was on a smaller bike for 18 years. And but 28 is the way to go.
the 28s and the 25s, if you're over 150 pounds, That's the way to go. If you're a lighter rider, yeah, you can get away with the 23s and so forth, but you need more rubber on the road. I ride mostly 25s. The frames I have, they take that comfortably. I'm not trying to shoehorn anything in there. 25, some vendors have 26s or whatever. I can get a 28 on the orange bike. I like about 4 to 5 mil plans. The 28 is a lot tighter, but I mostly ride 25s. I'm up front there. This road goes up a little bit. I think I'm out of the saddle. We're going to be turning in about 600 meters or so. We're keeping our eye on the traffic. You'll see a lot of them pass in the other lane, but we're using the lane. There's a lot of debris. There were people out here working on utility lines in the grass there. They left a lot of debris on the road. So we're going to be turning. There's a car behind us, but he's waiting. You got to make sure they're waiting before you get out here like that. Watch Jennifer. She stood up and sat down without stopping her pedaling. You got to practice that. That's efficient. This is what I don't understand. I'm not sure why we slowed down like this. But this is the character of group rides. You get a lot of this, go really fast and slow down. Same thing in road races. Really fast, slow down. Really, it's inefficient, but it's done to wear you down. Well, for riders who are used to going fast and steady, you're not going to wear them down. If they go faster than what you're doing, that means some of them will just keep going while you're slowing down. And if you do it at the wrong time, you know, cycling, like anything, timing is critical. If you do it at the wrong time, it takes you more effort to get back up to speed once you slow down. You know, so if you're training for your group, you want to maintain the pace that they do for longer periods. Then these speeding up and slowing down won't affect you that much. Because you're already used to going fast for 20 minutes at a time, let's say. If they do it for 2 minutes, that's nothing. That means you can go even faster than that for those 2 minutes. I hope it makes sense. So I think he's blowing his nose. Yeah. The weather's kind of cool. It affects people differently. Your nose kind of drains, your nasal passages drain from the cold air. Our weather changes so much that we never quite acclimate because, in fact, in a few days we're going to be in the upper 80s, which is like 33, almost 33 Celsius. And we'll start, let's say, like Tuesday this week, we're going to start, I think it's going to be 7C in the morning. 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Our normal range is 7C to, let's say, 24C, which is 45 to 75. That's the normal range. It will vary. Sometimes colder in the morning, and sometimes warmer in the afternoon. That's why we use the kit that allows us to deal with varying temperatures. That's very important. probably in third or fourth position right now up there. I believe Laura is pulling. I think she's done. She's just pulled off right here. She's gonna drift back. I think Roy is going to take over. That's Laura on the left there. We're approaching, we're on Springbranch Road, approaching the 9% climb. I think it's about 9%, depending on where you climb it. But it bites, so you need to get a rhythm on this kind of a climb and try to maintain it, whatever it may be. Because if you try to get going on this climb, you will have to work so much harder if you lose your momentum. That's the guy on the right that reminds me of the Alberto Contador in the Rafa kit there. Watch the watts. I'm up front. I'm in like second or third position. The watts are going to go up. That's Tanya talking again. Just ride. It's time to ride. It's not time to talk. The watts are going up. 500 and some watts. I think I stayed near 600 for a bit. Yeah, right there, 640 something. Paul's gonna go on the left here. He will get a better view of what's happening at the front. He's gonna go around these guys. That's what I mean when I say this thing right here, it bites. So if you don't have a rhythm or in the right gear, you start a downshift, you have to work so much harder. So Paul rides on the left. I think I'm sitting on Roy's wheel. I'm on the right there trying to avoid these rumble strips. I get back on Roy's wheel. It's easier to just maintain. I'm keeping my cadence up. I don't know what gear I'm in. It might be 53, 19 or something like that. I don't even know. I just by feel. We're riding the edge to avoid those rumbles, the little rips in the pavement. Roy pulls off, so I go through. That's what I was talking about. I'm gonna just get off the front right away because we're going pretty hard here. I flick my elbow. Michael doesn't go through, but this guy does. I pull over to the right. Then Michael picks up that guy's wheel. Watch me, I'm gonna look down. I'm looking for the gaps. I will drop my head. I'm looking at the road right there. I see it right there. I see the gap. I know it's Paul, so I see his frame too. I didn't need to turn my head. I just looked down. You can see the gap, and he let me in. I didn't want to sit at the front. After taking off a couple of weeks, I don't need to be at the front right now. We're going hard. So everybody's taking short pulls. Doug's gonna pull for a bit. I think he's gonna go blow his nose and come back because the wind's getting to him. And he's gonna come back. I think Tanya just leaves the gap. That's what you do. You just leave the gap there because he pulled off to blow his nose so the wind wouldn't spray us. You just maintain your position. He'll come back and fill in that gap. And that's exactly what she did. So when the pace is high, you don't have to, there's no issue. We're going, this is a tight line. We're moving. We're going into the wind, 23 miles an hour. And this is not flat, it's lumpy. It's at 1%. And we're gonna come across a little, I'm moving over to the right so I can slow down because they're slowing down because that guy's pulling off the front. I believe Michael's gonna take over. I stay to the right so I don't have to brake. Using the wind to slow me down. Because I descend, I'm heavier than a lot of these riders, so I descend quickly. The pace is high here again. I think I'm going to stay stand for a bit. It just felt good to stand. When I sit, I'm going to pull the bike up under me, right there. Does not affect Paul at all. It never comes back towards you. You can feel the right there. We're going real fast, and I slow down. The key is to be in the proper gear. So you're not searching or you're not laboring. Don't be shy. You carry 11, you need to use them. You don't need to shift that much in this kind of terrain. It's not too drastic of a change. 1 or 2 at the most, up or down. To maintain my rhythm, I'm going to go a little to the right of Tanya because I was going a little faster than they were. I want to keep my rhythm. I don't want to slow down on the climb and have to restart. You will see that a lot. A lot of riders that are climbing, they get their rhythm. They might stay to your left or to your right, and it may look like they're trying to pass you, but no, they're trying to maintain their rhythm. So Michael pulls off. Doug takes over. Right now I'm entering zone 4, at the bottom of zone 4 for me anyway. This is race pace. A little below the pace I like the time trial. Springbranch Road. It's about 10 kilometers, I believe. No stop signs, no nothing. Come out here, you have some good work. And it's always quiet. You get a car now and then. This road a long time ago used to be real crappy. They have improved the pavement tremendously. To be all chopped up, pits, ruts. When you see me drift to the right, all I'm doing is trying to slow down without braking. And I'm gonna stay within a foot or less of Tanya's wheel on either side. We're riding hard here. Doug pulls off. Tanya slowed down right there when Doug pulled off. I'm not sure why, so I drifted to the right. Those wheels on this bike, once you get it rolling, once you get above 20 to 22 miles an hour, it's very easy to keep it rolling. So having taken off a couple of weeks, when Tanya pulls off, I start to pull, and I just feel myself going slower and slower, so I get off the front. And just drift to the back and sit back in. gonna pull off here. Yeah, right there. So as I get to the front, the wind hits me a little more. My legs start to tighten up. I downshift. Look at my hand. Downshift 1, downshift 2. Because the road's going up also. And I just feel the effort. It's not matching what I want to do in my mind, so I pull off right there. I drift to the left. Let somebody else. Paul comes through, then the other riders will come around. I'm going to drift all the way to the back. You don't need to sit at the front and keep going slower and slower. If you're not firing, get off the front. Save your energy, get back in the draft. I could have continued, but I didn't want to push myself that much. So I just sit in the back for the rest of this ride until we get to the store and everything. I just sit in a bunch.
Clear.
Here.
You did a nice job paving this section of the road. It used to be really chippy, chip seal, this harsh thing. This is nice and smooth. And these are not heavily traveled roads. These are private neighborhoods. Agricultural community. In a little bit, we get a 4% hill. You can see my watts, almost 600 watts. I'm just sitting in. I don't know if I stood. I may have not. I think maybe I stood for a little bit. Just sitting in. That's why you don't want to fry your legs. Doesn't feel right. Save it for later. We've crested that bump. We're going downhill. You can see I'm not even pedaling. When you take a drink, get ready. There's a left turn coming up. These guys at the front slow down quite a bit because they're checking. There's a blind corner on the right. We're looking for cars first. Then we look left. I think I come on the inside. I don't know if I get in front of the camera or not, but I'm right behind Paul, I think, as we turn. You can see how quiet it is out here. Whenever I get the day off, I head out here even by myself. Come in here just get a good workout. High exercise potential. They shaved this corner, which I think is unnecessary. This curve is so mild. This area is called the Tri-Lakes area. Supposedly there are 3 lakes in this community. I discovered it one day by looking at a ride where Greg shot, Doug's brother, were coming back from Taco Corner, and then he diverged and came out this way to do more. I was like, what's out there? So I went and looked on the map, and that's how I discovered it and came out and checked it out and said, okay. You ride for like 10 kilometers or more without dealing with any busy roads. They need to fix the wooden bridge to get out of here. That's about the only thing. It's kind of rough. So the orange bike that I'm riding, the seat tube angle is 70 degrees setback. Angle, not setback, 70 degrees. That allows me to get my saddle back far enough. I'm using a straight seat post on it with no setback. And I'm perfectly in the middle of the saddle. So I can comfortably ride any frame that has a seat angle of 72 or shallower. When it starts to approach 73, then I need those funky setback seat posts. And I'm talking in excess of 3 centimeters, which is quite a bit. As on the Colnago, it looks really odd, but that's what it takes to. And I still have to use up quite a bit of the saddle rails. Thankfully, the S&P has very long saddle rails. But those are the things you need to consider when you pick a frame based on your body type, what you need. So us big guys with long femurs, we need shallow seat tube angles to get that saddle in the proper position. It's not the aggressiveness of the seat angle that enables you to go fast. Is whether the bike fits your body or not. There's all the other things like rake and a shorter seat stay. This is the bridge. It shakes you up. But what I was saying is the rake and the seat stays, all of that can be tweaked to make the bike chippier, quicker and so forth and so on. But you really can't skimp on the seat angle based on who the bike is being built for. Big riders need shallower angles. You don't have to have a huge frame. Most of them, you got to get to like 60 to get a 73 or 72 point something. I'm like, come on. I ride a 56. And most of the 56s, they're 73 and a half or more in the carbon frames anyway. Back in the day, we had more choices. Now all of a sudden they're making fewer sizes, so I can't buy off the rack, especially for carbon bikes. The traditional bikes like the Blvd bicycles and so forth, they come with shallow angles, easy to get when you want. Those are for touring and so forth, randomier. So a lot of these fancy carbon bikes, I've got to be real careful. My last carbon frame was custom from California. After a few years, it just felt dead. I wasn't impressed. That's the wrong turn.
We're going straight.
I told her to come back, Laura. He's telling her to go right, and he doesn't even know where he's going.
Saw Mom Mariah on her course.
He told her right turn, but he didn't go right turn though, which is odd. You said right turn, but you didn't turn right. You sent her the wrong way. Oh, please. These guys. He said right turn, but he didn't turn right. A lot of these guys don't look at the course. I take the time to make a course on Garmin Connect. It's not easy. It is not the easiest tool to use, but I invest the time in doing that. They still don't look at it, want to be asking, are we turning right, are we turning left? I don't answer. If you're not going to look at the course, then you just need to follow us. Because if you want to know what we're doing, you will look at the course. And we all got 24 hours in a day. I don't have any more time than anybody else. So you're not going to look at the course. Don't ask me any question on the route. You just wait till we turn and you can follow. Well, other people load their rides and they put routes on there. I open it up, I expand it, and I look at it. I want to know where they're going just in case I decide to meet them on the road or something or whatever. I'm just into details. Some people are not. If you're not into it, don't ask me. Just follow. When you see us turn, you'll know we're turning right or left. But he said it with authority, like he knew where we're going. That's funny. So we're within about 1.5 kilometers, about a mile from the store. This is Mount Moriah Road, the beginning of it. He said, sorry about the right turn. That's okay. These guys don't come out here a lot. And that's the reason I build a route. So people can look at it and, it's okay. He shouldn't have said anything because most of the riders knew where we're going. And Laura knows this area too, but he said it like he knew, so she just turned right. And I was there. I just told her, come back this way. And so she came back. No harm, no foul. Our little nice Mount Moriah Road is cracking up on us. There are a lot of cracks, a lot of little pieces of pavement falling off. You can see the black asphalt. It's almost like the liquid asphalt. They've come out here and tried to cover those cracks to keep water from going through them. And I guess it helps a little bit, but the road is still falling off. They're going to have to come back and put something under the tar, fix it up, or tear it up. It bugs us because we were here when the road wasn't as nice. We were here when they built it a few years ago. It was nice. Now it's falling off. It's kind of like, oh man. I love coming out here. All these roads are quiet. It's like you get out of town. It's like a weekend vacation every week. It's like an excursion. It's an outing. We leave town every weekend. I love it. So I don't know what you did this weekend, but this is part of what we did on Saturday. We're approaching the store at 105. We call this Taco Corner. Also, they call it Taco Corner, but it's Taco Corner number 2 for us. There are a lot of stores that are called Taco Corner because they have a hot kitchen in there. They make tacos and other meals. We don't partake in it during the ride. That's the store on the right. But we get ice, drinks and everything. It's a good place to stop. They got a clean facility, So we pick where we stop based on the location and the amenities. So remember, and get your K's in and keep all the doctors fired. It was good to be back with a group this week. More to come.
The man with the wrong instruction. All I need is legs. All I need is legs. Oh my goodness.